Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning wherever you are watching or joining me from. Welcome. Today is the penultimate day, day 4 out of 5. And it's going to be an interesting one because I'll be hosting a man. Yes, we are going to hear from the male's perspective today. How have you been? How did your day go and how is your day going? How did your day go and how is your day going wherever you're joining in from? Thank you for joining us the last 4 days. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for choosing to go on this journey, on this 5 days journey with me, with us. I really appreciate it. And I believe that it has been, so far, it has been an impactful one. I believe so far it's been an interesting and insightful one. Yeah, I see my guest is in the room. I'll bring you in shortly. I just want to do some introduction. It's been an interesting one. I've had 3 ladies come to share their stories, their lessons, and the impact the community have made in their lives. And today I'll be hosting a male, I'll be hosting a guy. Tonight's conversation may gently challenge some long old beliefs, yeah, because there are a common narrative that when divorce happens, men don't feel it the same way, that they move on. Some people just believe they move on quickly, detached easily, and carry on unaffectedly. And we've said a lot in the last 3 days, and the last 4 days. Today is the 4th day. And so today we are going to hear something different. So for this unspoken series, we don't deal in assumption. Remember, I told you it's a gentle learning environment. We're going to have conversations that are going to rechannel and redirect our thinking, help us to check our narrative. So it is, when we don't deal with assumption, we deal in truth, lived experiences, and emotional honesty. If you are part of us on the Sunshine Hub, you know that this is not a news. This is not new because we have these conversations easily. People in the hub, they talk freely and easily. They are open and they are willing to learn. They are open-minded and they are willing to learn. So this conversation is not about blame. It's about understanding, because when we understand better, we relate better. And that is why we have men and women coming on this show, so that we have clearer understanding, so that we challenge the beliefs that we have been running our lives by, to know if those beliefs are actually empowering us or disempowering us, to know if we are being honest with ourselves in all our action and our acts. And like Christy put a balance 2 days ago, I also know that there are some extremes to this journey. There are some men, there are some women that are operating on the extreme. But that does not mean we don't have the ones that are understanding and are willing to do well, even after divorce. So this evening, I have Fisayo Isaac in our midst, who will be representing Isaac is here, and he will be representing the men. Isaac, have you, are you here? Oh yeah.
Hello.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I
I'm
am
so,
as well. I hope you can
really
hear me.
clearly, loud and clear. We can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you
Okay,
loud.
great.
Thank you so much, Isaac, for choosing and accepting to be here today. I appreciate it, and I know that we're going to learn a lot from you, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I mentioned, we are not here to prove that men suffer more or women suffer more. We are here to explore how men go through that phase, how men experience that phase. Because it's only the women that come out to talk. And I'm glad that we are breaking that narrative that men don't talk, they will just be bottling it up and all. Of course, there's that part to it, but we have men coming out to talk now. So to start with, I want you to introduce yourself to our guests in the house,
Okay.
our audience.
Okay. Thank you so much. I would say it's a privilege to be here this evening. I haven't learned within the forum basically. So my name is Olufisai Isaac. Benjo. But majorly people call me Isaac Watts. And that's pretty much like a brand name and a niche that I'm trying to create for myself basically. In terms of who I am and what I want as a person. Um, I practice as an HR person. For me, like I always tell people, HR is like a purpose for me, helping people to helping talents, building talents, and as well helping business to win. So it's really beyond the 9 to 5 for me. It's really something that's is a life purpose, and I'm really passionate um, about it. So I would say I'm one who, in the last 5 years, has been intentional about his journey unlearn and relearn, to be able to uh, show better, act better, and as well create changes within my environment. I haven't made mistake. Uh, for me, I'm not a victim. Whatever it is was an outcome of a choice that I made. And basically, for every action or choices, you have a consequence, as we all know. So, yes, that's really like a summary, not to take much of your time.
Guys, I hope you can hear. This is real men. Yeah? They're not here to say, oh, I am the victim. Oh, she did this. Like I said from the beginning, we are going to be having real conversation. And you can hear Isaac coming online to say, I'm not going to say I'm a victim. I'm going to say this is the consequence of mistakes. And this is the generation of men we are talking about that they are going to be real. And trust me, he just said it, learning, unlearning, and relearning. And I hope and wish we have men coming out to talk about, okay, I believe that what I did was not really wrong. It was not really the right thing. And I did that based on the information or knowledge I have. But now I am here to learn. And this, number one, is to let men know that it's okay not to be okay.
Sure.
It's okay to make mistakes and to come out to talk about it. And in doing that, you're also trying to correct it. And also for the women to know that if you can give grace, there's a tendency that that person will come to the light or to the realization of what you're talking about. Why you are also not totally a saint. We all err once in a while, right? And so
talking about grace and having another mindset. So we're going to begin with the belief many people quietly hold. Isaac, there's this belief that many people quietly hold that men move on quickly. So I want you to respond to that question. Is it true that men actually move on quickly? Do they heal quickly, or they're just surviving differently?
Okay, in reality, I do not think men move on quickly. For some men that you see move on quickly was just like a survival technique, just like a redirection. And oftentimes you always see it in a negative way, right? Negative way can be picking up habits such as drinking, womanizing, gambling, and the likes, or drugs, right? So men don't really move on quickly. As a matter of fact, I think for men, it looks like a failure, really. Interlearning, trying to process it, it looks like a failure. So uh, over time, there's something that they still try to digest, analyze, and tell themselves, oh, man, oh boy, I fuck up. You understand? But they just find a way to like take it away, balance it. I think the good thing about men is that if, especially if you have good maybe support system within you, your friends, they get to find a way to create a balance for you by showing up for you, take you out, spend time with you, maybe inculcate your previous hobby to be able to take you out of that space of you thinking wallowing in pity. But when you're back home, it's just sinks to you. There are days where at the early stage when I'm back home, I'm still looking at it like the home is empty, right? And at a point in time, I had to stay back at work. Yeah, I had to close 9 p.m. because I just want to go in, have my bait, and sleep. The next morning, I'm up. So really, men find different coping mechanism to actually like manage that journey. So it's not like they're out of it. The only difference is that is not written on the face every point in time. Is not acted, and you
Like
accept your
like women
yes,
do, we are dramatic. You guys are
yes,
not dramatic.
yes, yes. So you really need may find different way. As a matter of fact, very shocking and one real thing. Okay, I actually became a Manchester United fan due to heartbreak. Okay, when I let's say when I was really first relationship, right? The coping mechanism was to start watching football,
That-
right? And from there, parts um, became a very good fan. Even reading habits, right? I picked up my reading habit at that period. So men just find a kind of coping mechanism which can be positive, which can be negative, based on even who the person is. Again, what you can the outcome of what you can see will be maybe a case of how solid that person was before the event, right? If the person wasn't really that solid too, it can tend towards the negative parts of coping mechanism, basically. Yeah, so that would be it.
Mm. Who is listening in the house? If you are listening to this, please, I want to see comments in the comment section. The comment section, I want to see comments because Isaac is dropping hot. Isaac has shed more light to the fact that it's not as if men don't feel it. It's not as if they move on quickly. All these habits. So they don't move on quickly, they feel it, it hits them hard too. What they just do is to divert the energy to something else. So, my gender, can you hear that? All those rumors because I know I've heard different stories from clients and people in the community, how they will say that, oh, and my neighbor called me that he now comes home very late at night. He's going to sleep with girls. Imagine if it is somebody like Isaac now, that somebody is giving his ex-wife all this rumor. Isaac just said that he don't decide to stay at the office. Do you get? So what we are saying now is that men feel it. It's not that they moved on. Their life also stopped. The trajectory of their life changed. It's not that it is sudden, but like he said it's a sign of failure for the men. And we all know that men don't like to fail. Their ego, even though we have redefined ego on the group, their ego is attached to the successes they make, they are able to record in life. And it's so interesting because this distinction is very, very important. This understanding is very important to everybody, to the society, to stop projecting wrong beliefs. A lot of wrong beliefs has been projected from generation to generation. As I was preparing for this, I was just like, all those beliefs that some dead ancestors sold to us. Imagine those ancestors in those days when there was no car, when there was no light, electricity, and we are still running our lives in this modern day by those beliefs. Yeah. So, like I've said continuously on this show, that we are here to change the narrative. This is another understanding. We have turned coping. We have mistaken it for closure. We have mistaken coping for closure for the men. And before we know it, we just go ahead and carry rumor and talk about it. And we start reacting, my gender, we start reacting. Society is telling you something, you're not taking time to think. Isaac said something that it also depends on the person. So there is a person you married before all the wrongs started coming up. So do you want to start paying attention to the person and not for those of you that are still married, are still in your relationship, you are still married, you want to start paying attention. Some of us are just ignorant of some of the things because we say men don't talk. And true, they don't talk. They just keep to themselves and start acting. They start looking for coping methods to ease their pain. So do you want to start paying attention? Do you want to ask questions? For those of you that are still in your marriages, you want to start asking questions. You want to know. You want to start having conversation. Conversation is not just good morning. Oh, hey, it's fine. Oh, keep conversations with your partner. And for those of us that want to start dating again, you want to start thinking, okay, maybe I misjudged him. Maybe it's not really that way. Yeah, so we don't take time. Let me move on. Thank you very much, Isaac. That was really very profound. Very profound. I don't know if I should ask this question or you have responded to it already. Like, what does moving on really means to men?
So moving on for men differs, right? I'll say it again. It's based on individual, right? So for me, moving on for me would be showing up better every day. That'll be moving on for me. So moving on is not about maybe getting a new partner or something, right? Or maybe in the local palace where you look at it, oh, vis-a-vis your ex, oh, you have somebody better. For me, moving on, it will be with Isaac. I would say the actualization of my self-awareness, right? That's one. Okay. The understanding of intervention and regulation of everything around it, right? And showing up better at every moment. Because again, every moment have their own impression, right?
Yeah.
Like they say, first time somebody will meet you, I actually create an impression. So for every moment, what's that impression, right? So that if that person come across another person who say, oh, maybe that is because of the reason why he acted this or so way, and not knowing, oh, that was really you, really. But there was a moment, or there was an encounter that created that kind of delivery or outcome that you gave to that person. So moving on would be showing up, okay, a better version of you every day. Because again, like we all agree, healing is a journey. There will be days where you are really going to have a setback. Okay, there will be triggers. There will be times that you even want to do some sort of um, self evaluation yourself, retrospect, like where I am. Okay, and again, maybe you set a goal, some goals for yourself as well, right? You're looking at your actual versus targets, where I am versus time gone. Okay, what can I do better? So showing up positively or better than you are yesterday, like the look and feel of what a person had of me yesterday should be maybe like X2 of it
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's really moving on for me, not a case of add a more beautiful person. No, not
And
vis-a-vis
how
of that. No, not that. I think,
in
yeah,
her to make the other person feel bad.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Isaac. Because you are changing, I believe, a lot of women's way of viewing men on this journey. And I love the fact that you keep emphasizing it is different for everybody. So it is different from for you. You are showing up to be a better person. In fact, one of the things I tell myself as the anchor facilitator of Sunshine Hub or Men's Locker Room is that for every man who chooses to be on that group, it's because that person wants to become a better person. For anyone who does not want to become a better person, we'll just look at what are they doing there. That's not my thing, and the person will just walk up past. You justifying that belief in my head, it's really making me happy to say that we have different men, and so we can't continue to generalize that men are this, men are that. When divorce happens, men are quick to move on. Men don't even care, they don't feel it. But you have said something profound, showing up better every day. And I want to believe that there's also the tendency that a lot of men want to do that. It also depends on, number one, the group of friends, the understanding how they were raised, and how far they want to go in life. Because some people just stay and they are wallowing, like the example you gave, flaunting girls, trying to make the other person feel I got somebody better than you, somebody prettier than you, which is not sustainable. So it is interesting because what the society projects is that Men just want to make you feel bad. They deprive you of money. They deprive you of care and all that. And currently, I have a client who is doing really well, and he just moved out. He just moved out of his matrimonial home in December, and he was telling me, he said, Dr. Ebony, I don't want her to suffer. Even though I don't want to go back to her, I don't want her to suffer. And so I have made up my mind that I give her monthly allowance. The children are no longer at home. They are all outside the country. They are on their own. She is the only one at home. I still want to continue to give her the upkeep. And I was so excited. I said, is the upkeep for the children or for herself? And I said, no, the children, I give them their own separately. This is for her. I don't want her to suffer. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to come back with this decision? Because that is what we are made to understand. That men are wicked, men are this, men are that, men don't want, of course, like we had balanced in the previous, the 3 last interviews, that people are different. And you have also said that people are different. But this is for us to know that. So, if at the second chance for the ladies, if you go ahead and pick somebody who is gravitating towards negativity, then it's your choice. Because it has been established now that it is not all men that moves on in the negative way. That was what you were saying, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. So, are we the only ones in this room? I'm not seeing comments, so are there
Well,
comments?
we have quite a number of people in the comment section, as I can see.
Okay, Tolu said, "Na man you be." I said, Dio, what are you looking for in Isaac's face? It's close to the camera. Is it your camera? Is it your camera? Tolu is saying, "Na man you be." Of all clubs to choose. Hey! Tolu, don't cause trouble today. Thank you. Yeah, and rediscovering you said that's 1 in a million of man. Yes, thank you for emphasizing that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say in my closing. Tolu, who is generalizing here? Report the person. Report the person who is generalizing after all the teachings we have been doing. So thank you very much, Isaac, for clarifying and for letting us know. Ladies, if you go and fall into hands again, it's on you. Because it is obvious that we still have men who want to be better people. Isaac used big grammar, said actualization of awareness, regulation of everything, showing up, you're not there to impress everybody, and you want to leave good impressions on people. These are the kind of men that we have in Sunshine Hall. And we believe that one of the conversations I used to have with men in the locker room is that we are change agents and we are going to influence. We're going to change the narrative. We're going to change the beliefs. And we're going to let people know that, yes, we can live. And that's part of the reason why we are having this conversation. If you have men tilting towards the negative because they feel there is war, Isaac just told us now that there is no war. Work on yourself. Try to become a better person. He didn't come here to say, oh, I am a victim. Oh, my wife is this. And you all heard what she said. He is trying to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Isaac, there's the conversation we always have on the group about how men were raised. And I want you to talk about that. What do you think about the way men are raised and how that affects some of the men that are out there?
Well, I think I'm trying to look at the best way to put it. I
All
think
right.
it's like a sequence, right? Maybe from the first generation of it, right? Is like a copy and paste approach, right? There's really no standard template that um, men were actually following. Okay, I think the number one or maybe the constant template has been provision, right? Um, Pretty much, right? And not the part of presence, right? I think, and the gap that fathers have created to their son is really the presence, not the financial, not provision, whether financial, but that presence, that um, being seen, okay? That part of it is actually absent, and that's why if you attend, which I'm still guilty about as a result of um, where I am now, right? If you go to PTA meetings, you hardly see uh, number of
Men.
men there. Yeah,
Yeah.
PTA meetings, open day. Those
Mm.
are really, those are as little as they are. They form a lot of impression to your children, and those are the learnings that they take um, over time, right? So that presence, that absence of being present,
Right.
again, another thing is this: father can actually be present, okay, but not emotionally connected. That's another thing. Your father can actually be physically present, but not emotionally connected. Present in the fact that in your house is at home, but inside his room, reading newspaper, but not
Mm.
connected to the children to understand what they are doing, share thoughts with them, uh, and the likes. And it's from that um, level or that period they be, especially the boy child begins to bottle up things, begin to hold things together, and then begin to have those discussions with his peers. And you notice some of the few things we get to know are actually run by our peers. Okay, what we not do is to do like a test, litmus test, maybe with an uncle that we are very close to, right? And not really with a father to sit down to say, Daddy, is this how this really work? Right? So I'll say that presence, right? That lack of presence, and that connection, actually has a very negative effect on the boy child, which at the later stage, at adulthood, actually show translate into sometimes translate into something negative or gives a negative output of the person.
Mm. Thank you very much, Isaac. Guys, if you are listening to me, you know that we have had question about moving on. And from what Isaac said, I picked this question up. Why is it that men don't, what's the problem? Why do they not know how to do some things? What can we say is the reason why men are the way they are? And he has pointed out, and I think this is an awareness we are gradually realizing in the society, how that it is not about the provision alone. It's about being present and being present emotionally, getting emotionally involved and connected to our children. I know there are very few parents who do that. So for Isaac, I would say that for everybody in Isaac's shoes, every man of this generation, I would say don't be hard on yourselves, because I was in a class and I asked this question. And the next question that came to my mind is, even your dad, who taught him? He wasn't taught. He wasn't taught. He does not know. The truth, and what I have observed, is men don't really know how to connect like that. I might be generalizing, but okay, let me say some men, and that is part of the ripple effect in the home, in our churches. If you go to church, it is women that are praying for family. If you go to PTA, it is women that are there. You know, it is the women that are present for the children. And somehow, I think somehow we are rejecting it now that, oh, fathers too should be. Because it is supposed to be. But who raised those current fathers that we are pointing at? Their fathers. Who raised their fathers and who taught their fathers? So I love the fact that it's like a copy and paste thing, but that it is important from what you said earlier, that men should try to work on themselves. I'm happy that our generation are lucky to be part of the ones that's on the social media. And yes, let's take advantage of it. Don't let us be blind and quiet about it. Let us pay attention. Let us learn. Not for, okay, maybe your current home has broken. Do you intend to have another family? The one that broke down, do you have children? How are you willing to connect to them? What are you doing to heal, to learn, to relearn, and become a better person, like Isaac said, so that your own coming generation. That's why I said something yesterday that was very profound, and that thing kept ringing in my head. There are generations coming, generations ahead. How are you handling them? What is your plan? I have worked with different clients, and the men are saying, "Oh, don't worry. When the child grow up, you will look for me. Excuse me." And I said it yesterday that this generation, you are under their nose, they are not asking of you, not to talk of when they grow, that they will not come. So the legacy you want after you are gone, please, let's try to do it now. And ladies, you can help them. You can also help by raising your children, your male children, properly. Do you hear what Isaac said from the beginning? He said it's copy and paste. The female child is well groomed. We is prepared. But the guy, they are left clueless. Yeah, so thank you very much, Isaac, for this exposition. What's grammar? This understanding you are bringing to the limelight. And I wish this video will go viral. This video, please, after this meeting, let's share with people. Let people know, because a lot of guys are just clueless. They are not thinking. They are just living in autopilot. Remember, we are not here to blame the men. And if you are here, you think your husband is clueless, it's not his fault. He's doing what he's doing based on the level of understanding that he has. It's not his fault. And that's why we keep saying that if you are divorced, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility not to remain there. So thank you once again. I see, is a question, what was the toughest part of the separation or divorce for you? Do you have a turning point where you felt like you were healing? What's all this? What's all this? Who is the questionnaire here? Dio. What's something you rediscover about yourself after the divorce? Isaac, do you want to respond to any of those questions?
Okay, what's the question, please?
There are 4 questions, you know. Okay, so let me read the first one. He said, what was the toughest part of the separation or divorce for you?
I think the toughest part of it was not having, okay, so there's a difference between a house and a home. Okay, so if you understand what a home is, right? So the toughest part of it was the home, right?
Mm.
Because again, if okay, as much as there were some things that were not clear, I had a little understanding of what purpose is,
Mm.
what vision or values are. Um, but the translation and the ripple effect of misalignments from both parties, what it can lead to, I did not have that understanding. Okay,
Understanding.
yeah. So after that outcome, right, the home was the toughest for me because again, um, in terms of so at the earlier stage, I had like a book where I wrote my vision, my mission, all those kind of things I wanted to achieve. Right, it's like a vision board, right? But it's only a vision board for myself. Was not a vision board aligned
Family.
with it. Yeah, it wasn't like a family vision board. So looking back at it in terms of what I really wanted to achieve, right? And that was why I said to me sometimes it looks like a failure. So that was really the toughest part of it. Yes.
Hmm. Thank you very much, Isaac. I love that part that you brought this vision in, where that we all of us were so clueless when we first got married. We did not know anything. And I believe that's why a lot of us are where we are. So if you're listening to us, if you're still in your marriage, please, first of all, check all the checkables before you say you want to opt out. There are some things we are supposed to align with as couple, as a family. Because if you, I have been in session of premarital counseling, and I will tell the man, what is your vision? The two of them, what are your visions for the family? And you will see the man writing something different, the lady writing something different, and I'm wondering, are you in the same vehicle? Because we didn't know. I'm sorry to say we're not even taught in our religious organization that we must have a common vision. You will have your personal vision, then you have the family vision. And not until there's an alignment between the two of you, there's going to be trouble. Because what the vision stands for is this is how me I want to go. And the woman writes her own. Her own is going in this direction. There's no alignment. There's no meeting place. And so the family already is divided against itself. There's a division already, starting from the vision, starting from the plan that you have in place. I love what you have just said. So Dayo, I hope Isaac has been able to explain this. And it takes a lot of courage for a man to get to that point to say, oh yeah, it's a failure. Because I didn't even know. I didn't know that it was supposed to be that way. And this is the reason why the people we celebrate, people that are celebrating 10 years, 25 years, 50 years in marriage, they grow. They grow over the years. It's not as if they also knew it from the beginning. They also grow to it. Because I've been in conversation with older couples to say, how did you do it? They will tell you how that at the beginning it wasn't so. But they have to learn, accept, align, fight, settle it. Saying that there will be fight is a lie. Because we are so different in our beliefs, in our values, in our vision, until we align it. So Dio, I hope Isaac has been able to answer that your toughest part of the separation and divorce, and that's why he's saying he sees it as a failure or something. So his second question now, well, question is taking me off. So we are here for people. Yeah, thank you. The second question is: did you have a turning point where you felt like you were healing?
Yes, I did, and it started. So I'll put it on what I said earlier. The whole turning point started at the point where I realized, okay, it's not a war, it's an outcome of a choice, and it has consequence, right? That was the turning point. And then did some reevaluation to say, okay, where were the things missing, right? What can I do differently? So those were
Yeah.
really um the learning point, really. And apart from that, I remember I had some kind of one or two session that made me on this, that had gave me clarity in terms of and you remember as well, even along my journey where I mentioned to you, okay, this is my thought process. I really want to understand if it's really not like uh is a factor of reading too much books or listening to too much podcasts, really. But at the period where I understand, okay, this is where I am, this is where I show trust. And I think it likely gave me um that that leverage and what I would call being authentic, the authenticity of where I am as
Yeah.
a person. Because again, if you are not careful, um, along this journey too, you might start performing. You might start becoming a performative person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
that was really
that's what people want to see. So you start performing for people to see. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love the way you responded to this question. Being honest with yourself. By the time you get to that point that you're being honest with yourself, the mistakes you made, you're being authentic to yourself, and you're calling yourself to say, hey, guy, you didn't do well there. Instead of trying to prove it, instead of trying to justify it, instead of trying to point fingers, instead of trying to accuse the other person for whatever it is. And that is why I always say on the group that pay attention to yourself, leave the other person for now, and listen to yourself. By the time you do that, that's where healing start coming. But if you keep holding on to something that is no more, you're just setting yourself back. You're setting yourself back. Thank you very much, Isaac, for that response. I also see Tolu saying that genuinely most men don't even know how to be present. And he said a partner can actually help, not by nagging. I'm the one putting that one. Okay? A partner can actually help. But you know what the problem is, right? Tolu, you know where the problem is, right? Is that even the partner you're talking about does not even know what she wants. And she's not able to articulate it. That's one big problem. I was in a forum and we were having this conversation. And I was saying, excuse me, if you're talking about the woman, kidiko, he has money, that's why some women are in affluence, that the man is giving them good money. That's when you will know that it's not about money for women. Because a lot of women are also clueless. They don't even know who they are or what they want. Do you get? Because the upbringing have been saying, do this to the man, do this for the man, cook, sweep, do all this. She has done all that. The man is giving her money, but she's still not okay because something is wrong. Because something is not touching it for her. So this is to educate all of us. Like I said from the beginning, it's not about putting blame. It's about educating ourselves to say what exactly is the problem. This men-women relationship now, wow, what's the issue? And until we pause, all of us pause, reflect, and start thinking of some of the things we are doing, some of the beliefs we are running our life, it's going to continue like that. We're going to pass down to the generation unborn and the generation coming behind us. And this is the reason why we need to, and I have said it over and over again, that Sunshine Hub members, men locker rooms member, we are the change makers, and I look forward to everyone having a platform like this where we educate people based on how we have learned, based on the knowledge that we now have. I also like Tolu is saying the pressure of providing can make one absent. Yeah, unknowingly,
Absolutely, I agree. Especially in this
unknowingly.
journey, it
Yeah,
can really,
yeah,
it can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a family member who that's what I see, but the wife is not seeing it. But just like, just calm down. This guy is not doing anything wrong anyway. I can say it. It's just the pressure of finance, provision, and it's making him do all this. Just be calming down. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I understand it, and I hope women are also getting it. I hope women are also getting it. Like Dr. Amala said yesterday, let's be patient. Let's wait. Let's pause. I have worked with divorced ladies who will tell me, if I'd known what you're telling me now, maybe my marriage will not break. Owning up to the fact that, oh, I know I messed up. I know I messed up. Yeah. So thank you very much, Isaac. Another question is saying, what's something you rediscover about yourself? I think he said that.
I think I've already mentioned that.
Yeah, I think he said that. What's one piece of advice you give a man going through divorce? That's actually part of my question, but that's towards the end. Isaac, please, you will respond to that question as time goes on. The other question I want you to respond to is, was there pressure to look okay? Is there any pressure from the society to men generally to look okay when you're not okay?
Was there pressure? Okay. So I would say yes, right? Based on the state of where you are, okay. I think the expectation of maybe 5 years, 10 years will be different from
Mm,
maybe a one, right?
when it's just yeah.
For me, it was a balance, right? There wasn't really. I remember one day having discussion with my mom, and out of nowhere, um, I started crying, right? And she had discussion with me. Okay, my foster dad too called me, and like, that man-to-man discussion to let him, and
So
there was really a kind of intervention to see, don't look at it like a failure, right? Because again, um, if you actually stomach it as a failure, right, it begins to build. So it's gonna the failure elements of it is gonna be like a foundation, and then it begins to build other layers on it.
yeah.
If you're not careful as a person. So yes, maybe the length of your marriage, your cycle itself, how the kind of influence they have on you, all of that, even you, the kind of things the kind of way you position yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
if we are one at that point in time or before that time, I've put the kind of a lot of validation, some sort of uh, pictures. I don't know, some kind of financial around those kind of things. It's really gonna eat you, and then you really want to be saving your eyes and everything. So really, it's really not a yes or no. It's really those um, light of things that comes to play in how it translates to you, whether it's really going to eat you or
Mm.
it's really going to be a balance.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The kind of pressure we put on ourselves in this society, I really, I think that this is why I always talk about self-awareness for individuals, because if you know yourself, you won't feel pressured to do anything you don't want to do. Yeah, you won't feel pressured to do what you don't want to do. So thank you very much, society. Please, can you allow us to breathe? Let's be authentic. Let's be human beings like we are. I'm going to say that it's really going to get worse, because we are so in a society, we are so in a global world now. Everything is on social media. And if care is not taken, that place will be deciding how you live your life and how you present yourself in the society. Now I want us to step into a very sensitive area, and that is talking about fatherhood after divorce. And I want everybody to fasten their seatbelts, sit up, as we are going to talk about this. You see, this is not about defending the men again. I'm going to say this, and it's not about accusing. So I'm putting this disclaimer forward. It's about education. Yeah, it's about educating ourselves. So I think there's this belief that men are less interested in the children after divorce. How true is that from where you stand?
That's really a big no. Except a man that do not understand what fatherhood is really all about. That's the one that will look at it. Okay. And let me take it from how I saw it. Right. One of the things I told myself is, you made a first mistake, right, of not solidifying a home. Okay, so you own this child, every sacrifice needed, okay, for him to have healthy parenting. And that was one of the things that after a period, I and my ex started talking about, to say, okay, let's even forget ourselves. The focus should be around
The child.
the child. And I can tell you, in all honesty, we will co-parent well. Okay, there are times where there will be friction. Yeah, that's common, right? It's still based on some free values, right? But what has been the unique identifier that has um, helped is, okay, it's not about my taste, it's not about your taste. What does he need, right? If this is what he needs, right? And there are times that um, it's out of my budget, right? I'll do it because he needs it, right? So I'm not thinking from it I'm not thinking from the perspective of, she's the one that's that he
That
wants it, or
wanted it.
yeah, or it's like a punishment to say, oh, since you couldn't um put the home together, then you begin to pay in that way. So I think yeah, there are extra or not palatable situations, right? We won't take that out. But again, for one who understand that part of it, that understand again that even fatherhood, he has his own journey. Okay, it's a gift. Okay,
Mhm.
because there are people who have everything right in the right frame, but do not have these gifts, right? So it's a privilege for you if you are in that position and you need to do what is right, not for yourself. And if you even understand what legacy is all about, then you really want to do well
Awesome.
at that point, in
Awesome.
time. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. Amazing. I'm glad you were able to say no and to say there's, there will also be clashes here and there, but you need to make it in the interest of the child, not being selfish about anything. So at
Yeah.
this point, I want to ask you, you also said it that there are some exceptions. I want you to speak with those exceptions, those men. Because I am a counselor, I'm a psychologist, I understand how the mind works. I also understand the place. So from that, I understand the place of maturity in men. that at times you expect a man to be mature and you discover that this man is not seeing what I'm talking about. And you have seen people who have gone through that journey that later in their life they now get to that realization, but things are already bad. So I want you to speak to this category that what is legacy? They need to do what they're supposed to do. Not because they were married to that woman who is the mother of their children, but because of their children. Next, I want you to do that.
Okay. So my advice or take to people who find themselves in conditions or states that's really not palatable is to understand that who you owe the duty of care is actually your child. Okay, and again, that's your legacy, right? Like maybe from the traditional point of view, right? You want your surname or your lineage to continue.
Leave.
The existence of it uh, uh, speaks much around how the duty of care that you give to your child, right? And if you do not want your legacy to show up the same way you show up, then you need to do differently. Uh, yes, you need to make that sacrifice. It is really a sacrifice. There will be days where you will cry, but again, it's I think is a time that has expiring date, right? Because it's a season that even have expiring date as it begin to clock it. And I think one of based on maybe testimony and everything, at least we can see the recent one, not to call name, but we can see there are ways God Himself even intervene into journey like this. That's uh, without you, yeah, everything will just change in a minute. But again, if everything is going to change, what are the memories that you're even going to keep? What are the things? How will you? Um, are you even? Are you going to even save your face? Because again, if you are really been in a bad state as a person, what will you bring forward? And again, in doing that again, ensure that you do not lose yourself because it is important as well. So you need to have a balance, make that sacrifice, pray. If there's a loved one that your partner actually respects and can help cushion in terms of some softness, take away your ego um, for that moment, bury it, right? Uh, and and let it be because again, like we all say, sometimes this ego is um, is a manufactured pride. Sometimes it's really nothing. It doesn't because again, if you really understand who you are, right? Those moments, it doesn't water you down, right? It doesn't in any way water you down. It doesn't water your existence, right? Okay, because when the outcome and the glory of it comes, you look back and even you'll be happy, rather than you looking back and having that and I know, right? So it's not easy, right? Because again, in the shoot where we are not in, sometimes it's quite difficult to provide solution or administer solution. But again, what we'll do is to employ to say, okay, make that sacrifice, um, pray, do your best. Try to do your best at every point in time, so that when the child grows up, knows that oh, you actually did your best, and will I say prosperity will judge too? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and it is real. Posterity is real. Karma is real. So just make sure you're doing the right for your children. So I want you to now give, so we're rounding up because it's past 9 already. I want you to now speak with the women who deny access.
What did I
What's your
get that way?
women who deny access? Yes, I want you to speak to them to say, let them know that there is no war. He might not be behaving well initially, but that does not mean he does not love his children, kind of. Because they just
Okay.
sum it up. Say the men don't fight, they don't want to take care of their children.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll put it in this way, and for context, no one is encouraging deadbeat father. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for you as a mother, okay. Again, I think like, we should even take it from this angle, right? The state and the status are different now. Okay. The status of a wife is different from the status of a mother and the state of a mother. So as a mother, right, bringing that state of you, which is nurturing, um, into play, and give. You can set boundaries that you want, right? Set every necessary boundaries that you want, but give room for that interaction and that connection or bond needed between the father and the children. Um, yes, as much as sometimes maybe children who do not have the presence of their father sometimes turn out well. Some still don't turn out well due to the way things are being managed. That part, there's a reason God created both parties to actually bring forth uh, the child, because again, there's that, like we always say, there's that logic part of the men, there's that emotional part of the women. So you need that balance in an healthy child that you're bringing forth. So it's important to give that opportunity. Um, let it be known, and whatever it is, okay. Leave the story out. Okay, let both parties, let the children see the reality of who the both parties is. Let them have that look and feel themselves. They will judge, and they will make decision on that. Is not in your own place to do. Your own place was a wife, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
another narrations ended as a wife, okay. Your place as a mother is totally different. Now, do your duty as a mother. Let him do his own duty um, as a father. But if there are cases in which you see that maybe in terms of the way he shows up might affect the children negatively, create boundaries, create in code some guided rules that will help. Basically, I think that's really what I would advise women around
Thank
that
you.
space.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You've done so well, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, our sage in the house. You have shed a lot of light, and I know that a lot of people will think about this. Please, let's share this video. Let's educate more people. Let's bring to the level of awareness. Let's bring these things, this conversation that we are having, let's bring it to some people's level of awareness. We are opportune to be having this conversation on Sunshine Hub and Men's Locker Room. And we have been able to educate ourselves, learn, relearn, be open-minded to take corrections from one another. And it has helped us to be here. And so we want to invite as many people who would like to be a part of this community. If you're watching us today, you would love to be a part of this community, please send me a DM, or I don't know who else is there. Is anybody there from the up to drop the link to join the group? If nobody is dropping the link, please send me a DM or just comment on this post after I will share it, as I add the replay that you want to join, and the link will be sent to you. But I will appreciate if somebody can help me drop the link to the Sunshine Hub. The other thing also is that this handle is my own personal handle. There is the Sunshine Hub Instagram handle where we have a lot of materials that you can learn from, and that is at sunshinehub.24. Yes, thank you very much, Discovery, for dropping the link. I'm also going to drop this is the handle for the Instagram at sunshinehub.24. Then the link below is the link to join the community where we educate one another. Nobody is bigger than anybody. We talk to ourselves as brothers and sisters, and we also have the men's room separately, where we also have all this conversation. Thank you once again, Isaac, for that beautiful
Thank you for having me.
conversation so far. I really enjoyed myself having this conversation with you. Guys, tomorrow is supposed to be the last day for this series. That is day 5. But please accept my apologies, because we will not be coming online tomorrow. We'll be coming online on Saturday, same time. Saturday at 8 p.m. I know it's Valentine's Day. Some people will be outside. Please remember, remember, we are going to be meeting here on Saturday at 8 p.m. West African time. Looking forward to having all of you. Guys, please celebrate my guest. Are we celebrating Isaac? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate. I want to see let it heart, 100%, and the love. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Thank you very much, Isaac, once again. I wish you all the best in your journey. And don't worry, I'll be the Iyako for that day. I'm going to do screening for any game. Do screening for them. It is me. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you everyone for connecting. Thank you for joining today. I see people saying, well done, Isaac. I'm so blessed. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with this, we come to the end of the show for the day. Sorry, I took 14 minutes extra. It was an interesting one. On Saturday, we are going to have another man in the room. We're going to have another guy. And we're going to be talking about the emotional and the psychological parts to all this conversation. Yeah? Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Isaac. Have a good rest of the day.
Have a lovely night. Bye. And cheers to everyone.
Bye.